Good day everyone, my name is Sapa Odishesa. On today's lecture, we will be talking on introduction of ArcGIS. What is ArcGIS? And ArcGIS is a software used to operate GIS. Then let me imagine that we all have our ArcGIS software installed on our system, which I'm going to launch my ArcGIS software. I'm using ArcGIS 10.5. You know, if you install ArcGIS, it doesn't come with only ArcMap. There are other components that it comes with. Other components like ArcTools, ArcCatalog, Administrator, ArcGIS Desktop, ArcGlobe, ArcMap, ArcScene, etc. Like I said earlier, I'm using ArcGIS 10.5. If you just newly install your ArcGIS, then you couldn't get the shortcut on your desktop. What you just have to do, right click on your ArcMap, check your ArcGIS folder. Under it, you look for the icon of ArcMap. Right click on it and pin to the start, or you pin into the taskbar. Once you do that, launch your ArcMap. I'm going to launch my own ArcMap. I've already pinned my ArcMap below the taskbar. It's launching. It's loading. If you can see, it pop up ArcGIS is currently not connected to online resources because I didn't connect my system to Nectar. If I have done that, it won't have brought this thing. It will have showed that ArcGIS is connected to online resources, and it's loading. It's still loading. It might take some minutes, depends on the carry capacity of your system. It's loading. It has finished loading. Then click on cancel to start a new page. One other thing you need to know in the ArcMap is there's something they call ArcTools box. The ArcTools box is a tools that control majorly all the functions of ArcMap. Click on it and it is going to bring out the ArcTools dialog. It's loading. Show this. What you just want to do, hold your mouse, hold the upper of this toolbar, move it to the side, any side you prefer. It may be this side, it may be the up, it may be down, it may be the left. Now if you want to do that, you can see this symbol that shows the symbol of left. Put it there, click on it, then it will clip it to the left hand side. You can see the auto hide. If you want to minimize it, just click on auto hide. Then anytime you need it, click on here. Then let's now get to the main topic of today. Like I said, ArcGIS, what I am made of. Many people might have been hearing about ArcGIS. Like we say, ArcGIS is one of the leading GIS software, and it is created by Raster company. There are different types of GIS software. One of it is ArcGIS. We have Mapper, we have Surfer, we have Google Earth, we have QGIS, there are many, name it. Depends the one you are very used to. But I will advise you, based on my own, because I like using ArcGIS, then majorly, based on the little one or two GIS software that I've used, I can say, to me, ArcGIS is the best. Like I said earlier on, ArcGIS is an organization on its own. Then before we know one thing we need to know is what is ArcGIS, what is it made of? From what I put in my write-up, I said ArcGIS allow people to process data, store data, create their maps and geographic data, and to access and use online GIS maps, data, reports, and other information products. This is one of the factual responsibility of ArcGIS. When I say ArcGIS, I'm not talking about ArcMap, because ArcGIS comprises many software like ArcCatalog, ArcScene, ArcGlobe, etc. Like I mentioned earlier on. Then, like I said, one of the things that you need to know is ArcGIS allows people to process data. It helps you to process data and to store the data and to create their maps and geographical data and to access and use online GIS map, data, reports, and other information. Many people have been saying that ArcGIS is a matter of creating map, because if you are not a cartographer, why am I going to learn ArcGIS? And it's not necessary for me to know ArcGIS. Believe me, brothers and sisters, ArcGIS it is used in every professional. Believe it or not. It's not necessary you have to be an environmentalist before you can use an ArcGIS. There are other things that are peculiar to ArcGIS that is very so important, because GIS is our daily activity that every one of us does every day. Then if you believe that in any activity that you do every day, it is also called GIS, because where are we? We're on the earth, and each position on the earth is geographical oriented. Then before you can be able to use ArcGIS, there are other necessary things you need to know, which I said the most known if you want to use me. First of it is GIS. What is GIS? GIS is Geographical Information System. Geographical Information System, GIS. But one thing you just have to know that Geographical Information System is a clone word together. Now let us split it into two. What is geographical information? And we also mention what's the meaning of system. Geographical information is what we call GIS. Geographical information contains spatial and attribute information. When we talk about spatial and attribute information, the spatial aspect of it is each position in the earth has an identity. And an identity, just the way me and you have our name. The name given to us by our parents is our identity. We may have, because some other people may be bearing the same name, but their third name will always be different. If their son is not different, no, we had to always be different. But based on the geographical information, which is spatially, and each portion point on the earth has an identity. Then if you believe that each portion in the earth has an identity, you know that you have already dealt with it spatially. Then the attributes that make it to be geographical information, it is attribute information. If you say something about attribute, we're talking about the name, address, type, group, age, as you can see from my write-up. Then for example now, you might be thinking, well, okay, let us make this example. Let us use it as an example. In a place we are living, it is on a geographical location. Then the geographical location is different from the house of maybe your friend. The identity of your house is different from your friend. Then like now, the geographical identity of your house, because that house belongs to you, then that's an attribute. Then if you now check what kind of house you live in, it can be 3-bedroom flat, or 4-bedroom flat, or 2-bedroom flat, or duplex, or anyhow, it can be a multi-tenant building. Those one are attributes. Then what you now just have to do is now putting all those attributes, attaching it to the identical coordinate. The identical coordinate is the data that the location of where the building is erected. That is geographical coordinate. That is geographical coordinate. Then for example now also, let me make this an instance. You might be thinking of something maybe in your community whereby there's a problem of schoolings. Maybe the availability of schools here is not enough. Then you may ask to search for a data. You might be trying to search for a data. Searching because in all the schools in your community are not in the same location. Then each school location, then the only best way you can make it to be possible is getting its spatial identity. Like now, if your school A one location, and that location must have a spatial identity which is coordinate, then the name of this school is an attribute, and the number of the carry capacity of this school, the number of the teachers, the number of the facilities are attributes. Then it's not necessary that attribute has to be so it can be attribute. When I say attribute, it's just a very simple thing. It's just a characteristics of something that made up that thing to be that thing. That's an identity. Because GIS, geographical information doesn't work without spatial coordinates. Then without spatial coordinate, you also need what's it called, the attribute. Your attribute will not be, you won't be able to analyze your attribute without making a geographical coordinate, then which is the spatial identity. Then there are two types of spatial identity. One of it is, there's two types of spatial identity, which is what I also call coordinate at longitude and latitude. In UTM, it is called northern and eastern. Then the second option of GIS is the system. System, if we are talking about the system, it is made up of the hardware. The hardware are the gadget that we use to do one of the things that we like phone, GPS, tape rule, etc. Then other thing, the software are the application that we use to process our information. Like now, ArcGIS, QGIS, Software, Mapper, etc. Then other thing is the data that we saw from the site or from online or anywhere we get the data. Anywhere you get the data is one of the things that make the system. Then the people are me and you that we are going to run the analysis. Then the workflow, and the workflow is mainly done in an organization whereby the workflow and how the thing is going to be achieved. That makes us to be a system because of the complexity of the GIS, make it to be systems. Like when I say the complexity is not, because it's not only one thing that you use. You need geographical information. You need the attribute. Under the attribute, under the attribute, you may have almost like thousands of things that you need to analyze for you to achieve your GIS. Then, other than must know if you want to use me. The second option is the type of coordinate. Then we are talking about the type of coordinate. We have two types of coordinate. We have the geographic coordinate system, which is with the components of angular unit, the prime meridian, and the period and the datum. How will you know? How can you get your coordinate? The type of coordinate system. As we have already launched our ArcGIS map, go to the view side. Click on the view. Go to the data frame properties. Once you click on the data frame property, it is going to click on the coordinate system. Once you click on the coordinate system, you can see geographical coordinate system and projected coordinate system. These are the two types of coordinate system used by ArcGIS. You must know this thing. What is the meaning of geographical coordinate system? When you imagine that when you imagine an health, it is still the same shape it is, which is the globe or sphere. That's the meaning of geographical coordinate. Once you are working on geographical coordinate, they have components that you want to know that if you are working, these components are fixed, which are the angular unit, the prime meridian, and the period and the datum. And then the datum is the control point or the health. Then when we say the second type of coordinate system, which is projected coordinate system. What is projected coordinate system? Projected coordinate system, it is when the transformation of geographical coordinates into a panel. A panel, when I say a panel, into a plane something, whereby it is a thought whereby we say, because the earth is in a sphere shape, then we now transform it, we convert it to a plane, a flat. Then if we're converting it to a flat, that's why they call it a projected, because initially there's an assertion that say, there's some people that say earth it is flat. Some say no. The school of thought say that earth is not flat. But why is it that if it is flat, they say if earth it is sphere, why is it that as we are moving we should be falling? That should you need to get, because it's a very assertion that many scholars have already discussed. Arguing much about it. But that's not our point about our thought today. But what you just have to know that if you are talking about the projected coordinate system, it's with the component of geographical coordinate system, and it makes use of linear units and the projection. When I say, you can see it has the component of geographical coordinate, because in the imagination still remain there, the thought is still remain there that the earth in a sphere shape. When it says it's a sphere shape, then a sphere shape, when earth is in a sphere shape, it is on geographical coordinate. Then without geographical coordinate, there won't be anything to be projected. Then once you project it back, it converts it to a linear unit. A linear unit like meter, millimeter, centimeter, hectares, kilometer, miles, yard. Because all these measurements that I've mentioned, you won't be able to get this thing on the geographical coordinate system unless it involves a thorough and a depth calculation. That's what you should know that under the second thing you must know before you can use ArcGIS is the type of coordinate system. Then if you click on the coordinate system, like now, if you click on the geographical coordinate system, you can see different type of geographical coordinate system. We have the Africa, the Antarctica, Asia, based on the coordinate and the usefulness and the word. Then under also, if you click on the drop down of the projected coordinate system, you can see the continental, the country system. There are many polar sphere. It depends on the one you want to use. Believe that's one. That's one of the things you need to know. But one thing I'm very important, and by the time we continue on our lecture, I will still be explaining some little facts you need to know how to choose specific coordinates, the type of coordinate system you are going to use, then when it is necessary, when is it necessary for you to use a projected, or a place whereby you don't need projected, you need just to stick with the geographical coordinate system. Then let us go to the must know, the third option of the must know. Then the third option says how I work. How does ArcGIS work? The first one is you need to ask a geographical question. Once you have the geographical question, for example, what is the situation schools in my area? Why is it that children that are not going to school? Why? Then this is a geographical question. Or you can see that why is it that most people that are in the villages, they find it hard to go to school? Why? This is a geographic question. You need to ask this question. Once you have this question, then that's the first step to do. Then what you need to do is acquire the geographical data. Acquire this geographical data is by sourcing for the data. It can be from online. If there's some data you can't get online. Like for example, now it might be possible for you to get a coordinate system from Google Earth, but imagine that in your village, Google Earth may not register all the schools in your area. You need to go to the site, to the feed, and take the coordinates of the site. This cannot be for your phone or from your GPS. But however, if you are using any GPS has plus or minus levels of accuracy. You better believe it. And then moreover, if you are using your phone also have a plus or minus of level of accuracy. Examining, get the necessary, acquire the geographical data. Like for example, now the number of the students in this school, the distance, or what's it called, the number of teachers, the number of class, the number of table, the number of books, all the other necessary things you need to analyze the reason why your school is shortage of students, or the reason why people from the village are not going to school. Then once you acquire the data, you now go to the third option, which is the examine the geographical data. By examining what data you have gotten, if it is valid, because there's some data that are not valid. That's time, like in most, especially some data, you get some data online, you need to, if it's a place you can access, you need to go there and see if that thing is very genuine, or you check the authenticity of the data, because it's one of the things. Because if you are working for someone, because this is a geographical, this is a GIS something, it is very so important that you are working with a valid data, valid information. It's not a matter of an assumption, because if you make an assumption, it will be affected, your result will be affected, which means that it will take you back to square one. And then the fourth one is the analyzing the geographical information. The information you got after you have acquired after you have asked the geographical question, acquire the geographical data, and examine the geographical data, you need to analyze, and analyzing determine the reason why the thing is like that. There are many techniques you can see. There are many techniques in ArcGIS that you can use to analyze that. That's one of the purpose of your ArcGIS. On ArcGIS, I won't lie for you, you can't exploit it all. So there are many things inside it that you can't exploit it all. If you do that, you now see that GIS, it is more than what you talk of. Then the other second one is acting. Then the fifth one is art on GIS knowledge. Acting on GIS knowledge. How do you act on GIS knowledge? It's whereby they giving them your assumption, giving them your thoughts after you have analyzed the geographical information, and you now see that the results, the reason why you have already done the lapses, why from based on our question, which is the reason why schools in our villages is not enough for us, for the student, or the reason why people in the village are not more going to school. Then you need to act on the geographical knowledge. Then another must know, if you want to use ArcGIS, is the GIS dataset model. The GIS dataset model is we have two types of GIS dataset model, which one of it is the vector dataset. The vector dataset What is a vector data set? It is now, if I say one of the things you need to know, when I say GIS is not a thing you can just learn, because there are other things you need to know. Basically, from the beginning, you need to know. Then we have something called points, and lines, and polygon. If you are used to some other modeling software like CorelDRAW, Photoshop, or any other type of modeling like AutoCAD or Revit or any other one, or SketchUp, and you see that there's a place where you can use points, lines, and polygon. And then the GIS data set model, the two types of GIS data set model is vector data set. Then under the type, we have three types of vector data set, which are the point, lines, and the polygon. And then the second type of GIS data set model is the raster data set. The raster data set, it is represented in a grid of equal size sets with a numeric values. So for example, like the vegetation maps, the land use map, the soil type map, the topographic map, the temperature map, and the elevation map, etc. are external. Because when I say a raster data set is mainly, let me just call that as an image. But sometimes there's some image that has, like now, if you source a data from, if there's some image that if you saw like Landsat, if you source some data from Landsat, it comes with some attribute. Like comparing to an image that you saw from Google Earth that you just save, it won't be comprehensive like the data that like an image that you saw from Landsat. These are the two types of GIS data set. But one thing you just have to know, in a vector data set, like now, if you might be thinking about a building, whereby you use a point to represent a building, you use a line to represent a road, rivers, and use a polygon to define a boundary, or a boundary of a building, a boundary of a nation, a boundary of a community, of the local government, based on what you want to use it for. The fifth option of most you must know before you can use ArcGIS is which I call where data can be stored or stored as for manipulation. There are two places you can store data in within the geodatabase. Once you are saving the database, let me just show you what a geodatabase was. If you want to know, this is a geodatabase. This is the symbol. You can see. If you need to create a geodatabase, now just click on this and you will create a geodatabase. Within the database, if you create a new geodatabase, name it. If you name it to your own preferable or for what you want to use it for, within you can see you click on it, because inside this one, that's where you can now save your data. Once you save it inside here now, then if it is saving, it will be saving as you can save points, lines, polygon, mosaics, data sets, and tables inside the geodatabase. Points, lines, polygon, mosaics, data set, and tables inside the geodatabase, it will be saving as features. But if you are saving outside the geodatabase, which means that if you want to save on your desktop, or you create a folder, if you create a folder, saving any file or any data into a folder, it is outside the geodatabase, because the geodatabase can only be managed by ArcMap or other related ArcTools. And if you are saving outside the geodatabase, it will be saved as a shapefile. Then you either see a shapefile in a point, as a point, or as a lines, as a polygon, or non-geodatabase raster, non-geodatabase tables, and a layer, because you won't be able to save a layer into a geodatabase. Within a geodatabase, it's always been in a feature. But all those things, there are the layers or every point, whether you save it inside or outside the database, once you are on the interface of your ArcMap, it groups everything as a layer. It sees them as a layer. That is how you can save, you can store your data and store it for manipulation. The sixth option of what you must know and before you can use ArcGIS is what I call types of data files. There are 6 types of data files. Those features that you can work with, one of it is point, the polygon, the line, the mosaic, the table, and the layer. I'm very sure by the time we continue on our tutorials on ArcGIS, we will be learning, going back to all what I've mentioned, trying to relate all what I've explained here. It might look little to you, but this is a little thing I can get, because I need to tell you, if you want to really want to enjoy learning or anything GIS, you need to read theoretically. I try to bring out the little things I know that are very important. I mean, for this tutorial, because like I said, I don't want to make it so cumbersome so that it will look so boring. Thanks for listening. I still remain my name. My name is Ogbeodu Shesa. Till next time.